Cheers! And welcome to episode 1 of the Sisters to Moms podcast.
Woo!
We are so excited, and we don't know if we kind of just decided right now that was going to be the name of the podcast.
Yes.
So we'll see if it sticks, and we might change it. We have obviously been filming so many Q&As and things like that through the course of both of our pregnancies and then postpartum. So we asked you guys if you'd be interested in kind of taking this and turning it into a little series on my page / a little podcast, its own separate page altogether, and everyone 110% just said yes, go for it. So here we are doing it. So for those of you who might be new here, hi, my name is Marissa, and this is my older sister, Anna. We are one of 6 kids, so we are 3 and then 4 in the span of those 6. And we both recently became new moms as well. I have an 8-month-old son named AJ, and then Anna has 2 twin girls who are almost 7 months.
I know.
I can't even believe it, that are Abigail and Alora.
We have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, we're new to this whole podcast thing. We're good at talking, so that's a good start. We are, throughout the course of this podcast, we want to talk about all things from motherhood to just girl chats to growing up in big families, things like that. I literally just want it to be like a little sister chat with each other and with you guys. So we figured what a perfect first episode and start to 2024, then to do our ins and outs of 2024. So we are just kind of going to get into it. Do you want to start with our ins or our outs?
I feel like we should do outs because we're like throwing them out of 2023. We're done.
So we're going to start with our outs. We'll go back and forth, I guess.
Okay.
All right, can I go first?
Sure. One of my main outs for 2024 is that I definitely put aside in 2023 as well, is definitely putting work as a top priority. So not that it even was always my number one, but it was always kind of top of the list, right? Like you want to be a career woman. We grew up in a day and age where the stay-at-home mom life was out. Everyone became career womans. So I think that, and I definitely got wrapped up in that. I was definitely like a boss babe mentality, like especially being a woman in STEM. I was like, let's do it. And I really put like, oh, if I had to work until 6 p.m., if I had to work till 7 p.m., like that was fine. Yeah. Whereas now I feel like being a mom and now like in this type of era that I'm in, I'm like, no, I'm going to clock off when I'm going to clock off, and I'm done.
Like actually have a work-life balance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so easy to like, you want to be like the best employee in the world, but you're like, I'm also like, if I literally died tomorrow, they would have my job listed before my funeral. So I'm like, it's such a perspective shift. Like it's literally just a job. For sure. And I also, like, it all kind of goes hand in hand with being a mom and just really putting your, like, mental health above everything, too. Yeah. Like, the burnout is so real as a mom. For sure. So burning out as an employee and as a mom, all of it on top of each other, it's just too much. Like, you got to prioritize one or the other. For sure. So definitely now in this 2024 era, work is getting put to the bottom of the list. I'm not saying I'm going to be a bad employee. I'm going to still be a kick-ass employee in the hours of 9 to 5. My number one of my outs for 2024 is comparison. And this is in like all aspects of the word comparison. I did it like comparing myself to other moms, comparing myself to other content creators, comparing myself at work. Like I just feel like I can so easily get into the habit, especially I think social media is just such a big part of it, of like online being like, well, look at what this person's doing, look at what this person's doing, why can this person seemingly never work and have all of this money and do all of these things and go everywhere, why is this person's baby doing everything? So I'm really just trying to like not compare myself, like what I look like, what my job is like, what my baby's doing, what other moms are doing, like literally just focus on like what's best for me and myself and whatever works, and like who cares what everybody else is doing. Mine, that's also out of mine, so I'll just talk about it now too. But just comparing momming in general, I think it's even with people you know, right? Like even on social media, it's so easy. Everyone takes this snippet of their day, and that's what you see through stories, through posts and things like that, and it seems like picture perfect. Like they have it all together. When in reality, in the background, their house is a shit show. They're like everything's a mess as well, but you just don't show that to the world. And honestly, like, in all serious, like that's like the worst part about us having babies the same age as each other. We've talked about that before. Like it's just like, although they are literally 6 weeks apart, like it's so easy to be like, what are the girls doing that AJ's not doing? What is AJ doing that the girls aren't doing? Like how do they do with this food? How do they do with this food? How much are they sleeping? How much are they, like it is just so easy to like could just compare every single aspect of your life because that's just like the closest person to you. So it's like even in that closest setting, but it's like it's so easy to like go down a rabbit hole of like then what am I doing wrong? What is my baby doing wrong? Why am I not good enough? So like I think it's just like leave the comparison at the door.
Yeah, and even like just like little stuff, right? Like even with like toys that they're using, or why is this person using that toy and I'm using this toy? Oh, this person's teeth came in, and like things you can't even control at all. It comes so full circle. And then when they do it, you're like, I did all that stressing for nothing.
Yeah, and
I was so worried about one of my daughters flipping over and all that stuff, and just because she wasn't really into movement, she's not really like, she's more of a gentle soul, and I was so worried about when she was going to do it. It's not going to happen because her sister, I compare the two of them all the time just because you naturally do
what choice do you have? Yeah.
But they're such different babies and they're such different humans, and like it's hard to remember that. It's easy, I feel, easier when it's like one baby and then two babies. But they're together, so they get compared all the time. Yeah. Another out for me is a big one for me, especially through pregnancy. My whole life, I've definitely had like a lot of body image issues. I always had a little bit of body dysmorphia and all that kind of stuff too. So when becoming a mom, one of the big outs for me in 2024 is caring about how I look more than spending the time with my family. So when we go to a pumpkin patch and I'm wearing jeans that I don't think that look that flattering, or I don't want to take a picture because I don't like the way I look that day, but the girls look adorable, or when we're out at the beach and I want to wear a specific bathing suit because it's comfortable to hang out and play with the girls, but it's not that flattering. Like I don't want to put that above spending the time with my girls and with my family, and like I don't want it to consume my every thought. So I think, and even like wearing makeup and things like that, I think it's just more put on the back burner this year for me, because I would rather spend the time with people.
Yeah. And like experiences and focus on that stuff than like what you look like.
Yes, bending down at the like shore with playing in the sand.
Being worried about rolls or this
exactly.
or that.
And then being like, oh, what if someone takes a picture of me right now? Like,
do you feel like postpartum, like pregnancy, postpartum, before, like how has body image changed through all of that?
I think I felt the best during pregnancy. I was so proud of what my body was doing at the time.
I loved my pregnancy.
I didn't even care about stretch marks. I didn't care about anything. I was just like, you know what?
Look at what my body's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with two, I was like, hell yeah. And now I think it goes like pregnancy, postpartum, before pregnancy for sure. In the terms of like how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely more confident because I'm like, yeah, you look over, you see a stretch mark. I really don't care.
Yeah, whatever.
But now,
there's no baby anymore.
Yeah, now there's no baby. So it's a little bit different, but I also am very proud. I'm still newly postpartum, so I think that's a little bit still in me.
Yeah.
When I stop breastfeeding and we move on a little bit more and they're like 2, maybe I'll feel a little different. But right now, I don't want that to come above spending time with my family and spending time with like the girls in a way where I don't want it to be consuming my every thought and move.
Yeah, and
being
honestly,
like, oh, I don't want to move. I don't want to wear this outfit because of that.
Yeah, and like with that, like I feel like I've done so many things and I've planned so many events around like knowing that we're gonna take pictures, like wearing this specific outfit because I feel good in that because we're gonna take pictures. But like I also like really want to, this is not an in, but it is a good in for this year for us, is like prioritizing just like more candid moments, more candid pictures, more candid videos. Like it's so easy to like stand there and take a forced like smiling picture that in an outfit that you perfectly planned out, and then behind the scenes like maybe the whole rest of the day was a disaster, where like I want those like just genuine like excited happy moments that people just caught me like living in the moment, so happy, like loving spending time with our family, our baby, my friends, like whatever. I just feel like it's so easy to like be focused on what you look like 24/7. So like I just want to focus on I want to focus on the moments, and then like I think like when you know that you were so happy in that moment, you're so happy with how the picture looks because it's such a genuine moment where like I could have planned my outfit, planned my hair, planned my makeup, and then I take these posed photos and I hate the way I look because it wasn't a happy moment, it was a posed moment.
Yeah, exactly. So. No, I think it's a good one in general for everyone to just kind of like, I mean, I know it's really hard, especially with social media.
I love taking post photos of myself. Like, I get a new gym outfit, like, I plan around taking a picture in that cute outfit. Like, I'm not saying I'm not going to do it, but just be more intentional about like also having candid moments in pictures too.
I have a really hard time, even my husband, when he takes pictures of, oh, look how cute you and the girls are, and I see it and I'm like, well, no one's ever gonna see that picture because I look terrible anyway. And I really want to like get away from that mindset of like, no, this is just a cute picture, because back in the day our parents would take pictures and videos all the time, and it wasn't like they could just go through and delete and delete.
And they didn't edit like our home movies. Like no one edited our home movies. So it's like now we look back and it's like,
or even all those photo albums. Like there's pictures of just like what it was.
Or like the floor.
Like,
why do we put that in the album?
Exactly.
Only so far back. My next out is putting myself in situations that drain me. I feel like this is something that I've really tried to prioritize in 2023 that I'm carrying over into 2024. Like for lack of a better way of explaining myself, I feel like in a lot of situations in life I am a doormat. Like I just feel like I'm such a people pleaser to the extreme that I'm willing to sacrifice my own happiness to make somebody else happy. Like I will continue going to hang out with people even though I don't feel good when I leave situations. I will, like for example with the doctor's office situation, like I would have continued going to that doctor's office before for the rest of my life, even though that doctor made me super uncomfortable. Like there is just, I feel like I really try to prioritize like removing myself from situations that are not filling my cup up, and that's something that especially now as a mom I'm really trying to prioritize, and just focusing on, if it doesn't serve me, then remove myself from it. Like I don't need to be in situations with people that aren't best for me, or I don't need to be around people, but I also don't need to be in situations doing things if I don't want to. Just because my friends are going out and they're partying and they're going out to bars and I don't want that and that's not what's best for me anymore, then I'm just not going to do it. So I'm like really trying to be better about that.
I think that makes a lot of sense, and actually kind of goes hand in hand with my fourth one too. It's just like not putting your energy into things that aren't going to give it back to you. I'm a big energy person, and not in like a hippie way or anything, but I think it's like a very much of like you get what you give, right? So if I'm putting energy into certain friends and they're giving it back to me, and I'm not getting, if I'm the constant one who's setting up play dates, if I'm the constant one who's setting up like times to hang out and things like that, if you don't want to be in my life,
simple sending a text message, like when you haven't seen each other for a while, because like we're adults, like life gets busy, it gets hard, you sometimes can't see each other 24/7, but like something as simple, sending a text being like, hey, I was thinking about you, hope you're doing well, like hey, how are the girls doing? It's been a while since we've seen each other. Like that goes such a long way.
Seriously. And that's what I mean, like I just don't, if you don't want to be in my life, I'm not begging you.
No, I'm not forcing you anymore.
No. Like I'm putting my girls, my husband, my family, and my friends that truly care about me above all. And if you want in my life, great, see you there. But if not, have fun. There's no ill will, there's nothing, but I'm just not putting my energy into people who don't give it back.
Right, that's like such a big thing. I'm like, it's not, I don't hate you, we're just in different paths of life. Like, and I think for us right now, like, for the most part, we're pretty much the only one of our friends, like our immediate group of people that have kids. And so it's just like, it is an entire lifestyle change, and we can't expect everyone to get it. We can't expect everyone to change with us. Like, I don't at all expect that. But like you said, like, you're either going to come along the ride with me, even if you don't understand every single thing that I'm going through, or you're going to distance yourself because it doesn't fit your life. And there's no hard feelings, but why am I going to continue to put an effort and drain myself if you're not doing the same thing?
Exactly. No, I completely agree. And like I said, like you said, there's friends that have shown up to the gender reveal, to the baptisms, to things like that, who don't have a kid, no kid in sight, not even in their mind, but they show up for you and your kid, and that's super important to me. Whereas if I'm putting into energy into people and I'm going to their things, I'm doing that, and they're not reciprocating it back,
why am I wasting it? It's okay. Like, it's no hard feelings, but you go your way, I go mine.
I have too much energy to put in other places to worry about this over there. That's not
including my own self.
Yeah, exactly.
So my next out is,
I feel like I'm getting comfier.
I feel like I'm opening up.
By the end of it, I'm like a podcast man.
I'm like, give me a headphone and a mic, I'm ready. My next out is spending tons of money. I don't feel like I spend tons of money, so take this all like with a grain of salt. I don't feel like I don't think I'm an overspender. Like, I'm not somebody who like goes and like needs to do a $200, $300 Target haul every single weekend. Like, that's not me. But I mean in terms of like going to Starbucks every single day. Going every single time I'm in Target, like needing to buy myself a new PJ set, a new this, a new that. Like, I am more like a little purchase thing that like adds up to a big purchase. And like realistically, just like we want to buy a house, we are having talks of eventually baby number 2, and like all of that does just require money. And so I'm just trying to be like more of a minimalist.
Cautious.
More of a minimalist in terms of like, I can make my chai at home. Not every single day. I still want to go out. I still want to splurge and treat myself, but I don't need to get it every single time I'm out around the time that I want Starbucks. Like I can just make it at home, or like every single time Gymshark comes out with a new collection, I don't need to get something. Like or maybe get rid of some stuff. So I can get new stuff. Like I'm really trying to be better about like staple pieces, staple things that I want to spend my money on and not spending it on every single thing.
I think that's a good one.
And my last thing, which kind of goes back to what we said about comparison, is second guessing myself. I feel like that recently has become a super big thing as a mom. I don't think I ever second guessed myself as much as I did when I became a mom. And again, I think a lot of it just goes back to comparison. So like we said with social media and seeing what other people are doing, you're second guessing yourself. But I also think for me, like a big part of it is content creating. And like I'm second guessing like because of course like negative comments are really loud, and like although you probably have a lot of silent supporters and silent like people who are there supporting you, whatever silent is, silent supporters. Silent supporters, the negativity can be really loud. And so like when you're posting and taking the time to film aspects of your life, or film a workout, or film a mic'd up, or whatever, and then like it's like, does anyone even care? Like, am I just bothering people? Like, what if everybody feels that way and they're just not commenting? Like, I just feel like I can second guess myself really easily, and I think I just have to remind myself that like it's, if I want to post it and it's something that makes me happy and that I want to consume, like if you don't like it, you can not follow me, you don't have to watch it and all of that. But I think in terms of content creating, that's been a big one for me since becoming a mom, because you're letting them into a whole other part of your life.
It's very vulnerable.
Yeah, it's very vulnerable, and I'm sharing like hard aspects of it, and I don't want to be like, oh, well, it doesn't even seem like you enjoy being a mom because you talk about the difficult parts. Because like I love nothing more than being a mom, but it is difficult, and so I want to share it. So I'm trying to remind myself that like it's okay to be authentic and to be myself and to share whatever I want to share, and whether it gets 2 views or 1 million views, like who cares? It's what I want to share. Like, you don't need to second guess it based off of that. So.
I agree. And I think that's a really good one. Also, just second guessing yourself in like momhood as well. Same thing in career, everything. Like you do have a form of a gut instinct, right? Like if you're putting up a video and you like it, or if you're putting it up and you're like, that seems a little bit too much for me. Maybe I shouldn't have shared that part of AJ's day, or maybe I shouldn't have done that. Like you're gonna know. Like you do have a gut instinct that is usually right.
But and like imposter syndrome is just so real. You're like why am I doing it? Why am I sharing it? Why does anyone care what I have to say? Like what is, and same with momming, you're like, why am I good enough? Like I don't know if I'm a good mom. I've never been a mom before. So it's just like, I think like just an out is just like don't compare yourself, and then with that also just like trust yourself, because you know what you're doing. Alright, so that is all of our outs. So now let's go to our ins. So you go to your in first, since I did like 72 outs. I'm getting rid of everything.
So it's actually just a funny one. I just wanted to start off something light for ins. So in college and growing up, I was a Dunkin' girly. I was an Eagles game day. They won. We're getting Dunkin'. I am a changed woman, and I am here to report I am now a Starbucks girl. I have come to the dark side.
She's in. So Starbucks is in for 2024.
It's just a little treat. It just
we've converted her.
I used to drink Dunkin' and be like, oh, it's cheaper, it's good, but there is a quality of Starbucks. And
like I want the pumps. Like I know my drink order is excessive. I know that, but I'm excessive.
Exactly. And every once in a while, do you know how good it is just to get like a little treat for yourself? Momming is hard. Being a career woman, full-time mom is hard. It's sometimes nice to just be like, this is my little treat during the day. So I am putting Starbucks on the in category. Yes, money might not be the greatest, but
forget our outs. Forget we're gonna save money.
In terms of if I'm stopping for a little treat for myself, it's a coffee and a cake pop. Okay? It is what it is.
It is. And that's just an in for 2024.
Salted caramel cold brew.
I was saying, what is your go-to Starbucks order?
See, I have 2 right now. So, well, to rewind. When I was full maternity leave, Marissa can vouch for this, I went on a bender.
She became obsessed. Like, I've been trying to convert her to Starbucks for years now. Since I've always been a Starbucks girly.
I would be ashamed to show my Uber Eats of how many, I'll put it on the screen. Of how many times a week I would order Starbucks to my house, because it just again gave me that little shot of oxytocin. And I was like, I'm home all by myself with 2 girls. So I was just like, it was like my little treat. So I was like, you know what, I'm getting it, and I went on a bender. I was like It was like every day.
Guys, I wish she was joking. Like, I wish that you could have,
but it was fun because I was trying the new holiday flavors. I was like, everyone was responding to my Instagram stories being like, oh my god, that sounds good, so good. I was
okay, so what is your go-to drink?
Okay, so.
What about your bender?
So, one of mine is the salted caramel cream cold brew.
That sounds good.
Or the caramel brulee latte is also very good. I get it cold. My husband gets it hot. But I feel like also the in is cold drinks for 2020.
Yeah, cold drinks. I'm not a hot drink girl. It can be. I can be complaining all day that I'm freezing cold out, and as I'm sipping my iced chai, I
just for some reason it just hits different when it's cold.
It does. It really.
You're like, ooh. It gives you a little like, ooh.
Oh, chill. Little shiver.
It just hits different. But yeah, so in the grand scheme of things, Starbucks is in 2024 in moderation. The vendor will not be back, but I do enjoy Starbucks coffee.
My order is a venti. I get a venti. It's important because I'm never gonna get anything.
I also get a venti and then drink half of it, and then they bully me about it.
She gets a venti and she drinks a grande size, so it's like just get a grande. But I think it's like the experience of getting a venti.
It's the aesthetic.
Yeah, so I get a venti iced chai latte with oat milk, brown sugar syrup, a caramel drizzle, and sweet cream cold foam. It's like my favorite. I get excited thinking about it.
My mouth is watering.
I love it.
The bender's coming back.
Yeah, the bender are gone. And we have DoorDash on the way. Just kidding. My first in for 2024 is daily journaling. This is something that I did during Lent one year. I decided that instead of giving something up, I was going to add something in, and I journaled every single day for the 40 days of Lent. And I just noticed such a shift in my mental health when I took 10 minutes at the end of every single day, and I wrote out cute little journal prompts, and then I spent time by myself to journal. And I was like, you know what, especially now, like I feel like I get minimal time to myself anymore, so like it would be really nice if at the end of every day I recapped and I found something, because some days are just really hard, and so I feel like some days it's just really nice to like write down 3 things that you're grateful for that day. And like sometimes they're obvious and they're like, I'm grateful for Adrian, I'm grateful for Timmy, and sometimes it's like, I'm grateful for my iced chai, I'm grateful for whatever. It just, I think it really puts into perspective that even on those really, really difficult mom days, there's always something to be grateful for. So that's something that I've been doing the past week or so. It is just like the nicest way to end my day, because I'm also a sleepy girl, and so by the end of the day, like I could be falling asleep on the couch at like 7 p.m. So it just is like, it forces me to like have a good nighttime routine, because like I
didn't know I was so far up until right now. Like, I'll back up.
I love my morning routine, but I feel like my nighttime routine is like take a shower and fall asleep on the couch. And like, so I'm trying to prioritize my nighttime routine as well. So now journaling is part of that. Yeah, and I think that kind of goes hand in hand. I didn't write this down, but it's a good one. Is just romanticizing your life, right? I think that's a big one with your routine.
Yes, routine. You get in a rut of like, this is the same thing every single day. Romanticizing your life, where again, you're making your coffee and you're like, oh, this little taste of good things. Or you're like, oh, I'm putting my girls in the car seat and I'm so grateful that we have a car. And of course, that's really hard in the moment.
For sure.
But just romanticizing your life, where if you saw this on a movie, you would think that it's glamorous, right? But it's you're so used to it. You're so used to it day in, day out. Like, I follow this one YouTuber who romanticizes her life a lot. And she will go garden. She loves her gardening. And of course, like when you're down there and you're gardening, like it's dirty, it's gross, like you don't love it, but then the end product is so great, right? So like just romanticizing your life along the way, I think it's really hard.
I feel like filming.
And I think journaling really helps with that.
I feel like filming for me does that, because it's like, I love filming tasks that I have to do no matter what. Like, especially like when I do a Sunday reset, like I'm going to do a laundry, I'm going to clean up, and I'm going to do that. But like now if I'm filming it and I'm making a cute little video out of it, like it doesn't seem like a chore anymore. Like it's like more fun that way. So like that's something that like works for me. It's like, and that helped me romanticize a lot of those little things. Like even my morning routine, like it's as silly as it is, like talking to a camera and like just having fun with it makes it not seem like, ugh, okay, time to do this, that. So I agree.
One of my ins for 2024 is date nights in and intentional quality time. I think it's really easy to, you see your husband or your significant other or your people all the time. If you're around them 24/7, like it's easy to just be like, oh, well, I've been with you, I now want time away from you. And not even an away from you, but just like, I want some time alone. But I think intentional quality time is really great, where you're like, we're going to sit down and watch a movie together, or we're going to sit down and do this puzzle together. And intentionally like take your relationship back. I think that first couple months of parenthood is so hard.
For sure. And it's so easy to get into that roommate stage. Like I know people talk about it, but like it is, because it's like by the time you put your baby to bed, you're exhausted, and it's also like 7, 8 o'clock, whatever time you put them to sleep, and you're like only up for a few more hours. For us, like people go to bed relatively early, and you're like, the last thing I want to do is like do this whole big extravagant thing. So you're like, even taking time to like watch a movie or like even just catch up about your day, like as ridiculous as that sounds, like when you're in that like newborn, early infant stage, like you just like don't, and you've gone like 3 days being like, oh my god, I never told you about this today, because so many other things have been going on.
Me and my husband a lot during those early newborn stages would say like, I miss you. And like you're with each other all the time. But you're not like with each other, if that makes sense.
It changes your relationship so much being a parent, and I just feel like it is something you do have to be really intentional about. Like I understand why a lot of couples don't make it out of the newborn first years, because it is really hard, and like when you're up in the middle of the night or things like that, it can be really easy to just bicker, and then it can be really easy to let those conversations like carry over into your day, being like, oh, I'm so mad at you for X, Y, and Z, or when you didn't get up, or this, or I got up more times than you. It can be so easy to like keep score.
And I put down date nights in and intentional quality time, but I think even having the word date night infers that there's some type of like money involved, where it can really just be like, oh, we're making dinner, having a glass of wine together, and we're just sitting down and like talking, watching our favorite show.
It literally doesn't have to be anything. It can, it can just be like even 5 minutes of like, put your phone away, like let's talk about our day.
Exactly.
Like, it just
so I think intentional quality time is the key of 2024.
My next one.
Side note, Marissa guzzled her coffee.
It's a toxic trait of mine. I don't know how to sip, like, and I also really have to pee, so I think I'm gonna pause for a second so I can do that. Because I chug it. Like, I'm not a casual sipper. I'm a chug. I'll do this one, then I'll do a pee. This kind of, I'm actually gonna skip this one because we kind of talked about it when I was saying putting myself in situations that drain me. I also kind of added to that, like prioritizing healthy relationships and healthy growth. But I feel like we covered that. Like, I feel like spend time with people who fill your cup up, not drain you. My third one is slowing down. This is so big for me because I am the type of person that if I wake up, even on a day that I have absolutely no plans, I have plans for my day. Like,
our husbands do yell at us that a lot.
All the time. Because we are so bad at...
And we tend to egg each other on.
For sure. That's on us. That's on us for sure. But I'm so bad at doing nothing. Like, I think it's just kind of like the hustle culture that like we grew up in, and also that like I pride myself in being a really hard worker. I'm really productive.
We come from an immigrant family where there's no time to rest.
No, like you want to like always be productive, and like even during nap times, like that could be a 30-45 minute time frame that I just sit and scroll on my phone and let myself have a moment. But I'm like, if I don't get anything done in this time frame, I'm lazy, I'm unproductive, I'm not doing what I'm like. It's just like, so I say put this into my head that like I need to be go 24/7, and that if I'm not filling up plans, like I'll get done work at noon and be like, hey, do you guys want to do lunch at 12:30? And I'm like, well, why didn't I give myself a little bit of time between one and the other? Like, I don't have to have every second of every single day filled up.
I agree. And like you wake up in the morning and you're like, we have no plans today. And then slowly you start to make plans throughout the day, and then at the end of the day you're like, I'm exhausted. Why didn't I take that day to rest?
Like, and I am very much, I am like such an extrovert, but I have realized since being a mom that like I can get overstimulated just like everybody else, but I've never had that experience before. Like, I've never been to a point that I am just so overstimulated that I don't want to communicate with people. And I feel like since being a mom and like being in a job that is super dependent on constant communication and being energetic and outgoing and bubbly and 24/7, and then I get home and I'm breastfeeding.
Sometimes you just need a minute to decompress.
And I just like, I think I want to really prioritize that this year, is focusing on, it's okay if someone asks you to do plans and you are just so
off, like you
overstimulated, it's okay to say no to those plans. You don't have to say yes, because yes, it would be fun, but you don't have to say yes just because you need to say yes because your friends are doing it. So like, I really trying to like slow down when I need to slow down, and not letting myself hit the point of burnout, because that could be a problem that I get myself into, because I go, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I need to not do anything for 3 days because I need to slow down. So I'm like, let's just not let ourselves get to that point.
I agree.
You're gonna hear me pee. It's right here.
While Marissa's in the bathroom, put your ins and outs in the comments.
It's so triggering. Could you guys hear me pee? Tell me the truth. Don't lie to me.
We could.
Oh no. That's it. The podcast is over.
One of my ins is similar to one of Marissa's outs, but it's a little different. So I put financial planning and being money smart, which I think is different than spending money on like materialistic items a little different. We have, of course, student loans, cars, things we want to pay off on the house, renovations, things like that. So I think really putting down of what needs to get paid off first and being really smart of, should we go out to dinner again, or should we just make pasta, or should we just do little things around the house that we could probably do cheaper? Do we really need to get like something that we really don't need? Yeah. It's not as much materialistic items of buying things, but more so like making sure that we're putting our money towards the right thing. So if our debt is this and there's another debt over here, which one do we put it towards to make sure that our future is better? Yeah. The girls are getting older, we eventually want to send them to preschool and school, and all that costs money. Get a new house, get new cars, all that kind of stuff. So I think being financially smart,
and planning,
and making sure that we're setting ourselves up. I think especially early 20s, you're kind of just like in a free-for-all a little bit, because
nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah, you're early out of college, you're kind of still in entry-level jobs, you're kind of still getting it all figured out, which is great. That's what the early 20s are for. But me and my husband are now going into 30s, so I think it's going to be a little bit more of like, let's plan for the future.
Yeah, setting yourself up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think it's a little bit more of, what can we do? What can we pay off? What can we put away? Things like that are going to be help us, not right now, but in 3-5 years. That it's going to be really imperative to start now.
My next one is being in the present. That kind of goes along with my last one of slowing. My next one is being in the present. I feel like something that I have a really hard time with is just looking into the future, being like, I can't wait when this happens. I can't wait when that happens. I can't wait when I can't wait when AJ can walk. I can't wait when AJ can do this. I can't wait till my job is doing X, Y, and Z. Like, I feel like
some of that is valid.
Yeah, and like looking forward to the future is normal. Everybody does that. But I think like I don't want to lose sight of living in the present and enjoying all the moments, because like you're never going to get like this day back. You're never going to get them this small again as a parent. You're never going to work in this, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like you're never going to get this time
back. A good example of that is me and my husband keep saying we want to move, we want to move, we want to move. That's our big thing right now. We really want to move in 2024. And I told him the other day, I was like, you know, there is going to be a time when we're like 50s, 60s where we think back on, remember that first townhome
we lived in? You ever lived in?
Where we were kind of a little cramped. We had we brought our dog home in. We brought the girls home in.
Yeah.
There is something going to be sweet about this time that we maybe are taking for granted right now. That in the future we'll look back and be like, that time was so special. And of course it's in the moment right now, so you don't think it's so special right now. But I do agree that I think like it's easy to do that.
It's just so easy to think like, and it's I saw this online about like relating to like your body, and it was like you don't want to like spend your whole life being like, when I'm older I'll look like this, when I'm older I'll look like this, when I'm older I'll feel like this, and then all you want when you're older is to be 15 again, be 16 again, have that body back, have that time back, have that innocence back. Like, and I think like it's so easy to reflect being like, that was such an amazing time in my life, and I don't want to like reflect back being like, all I wanted in that time was to be now.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to be like, wow, I was not living in the moment then because I was so focused on it now.
Being like, oh, I can't wait till. That's such a thing.
I can't wait till this happens. I can't wait till that happens. And while I am excited for those times, I don't want that to take away from what's literally happening in front of me right now.
Yeah, I know. No, I completely agree. I think that's a really good one. And that kind of still goes again into romanticizing your life. Journaling will help with that. You're living in the present. It's all kind of like cohesive in a way of really staying present and being like, I'm grateful for what's happening right here, right now.
My last one, it's actually funny because
even though we all kind of go...
They all go together.
They all kind of overlap.
We share one brain.
Yeah, we do.
My last
one... This podcast should be one brain, two bodies. One brain, two bodies.
Moms. My last one is actually funny because it kind of goes against one of Anna's outs, is one of my ins. One of my ins is getting dressed up / doing my makeup once or twice every single week.
Okay.
I feel like for me...
We flipped.
Yeah, we flipped.
I've had that stage.
I feel like for me, I just work in an industry where I am in leggings and a sweatshirt, and that is my uniform to wear. And what do I do outside of work? I work out, so I am in leggings and a sports bra. And then what do I do outside of those two things? I'm a mom, so I'm in leggings and a sweatshirt. And I just feel like like there's something so nice. Even today, like I didn't try that hard, but like I straightened my hair. I put on a little bit of tinted sunscreen and like feel like I could attack the day. And like I just feel like there's something nice about like getting yourself all done up once or twice a week, even if it's literally to like run errands. Like, I'm not saying I'm gonna go on this big extravagant.
And you don't need to go glam, but
but like just
even a little bit of mascara.
Yeah, just make yourself feel good once or twice a week. I feel like for me, I'm so like minimal in a lot of like how I dress, how I look, and not that I want to change all of that, but like I just want to feel like I want to like get myself a little bit more dolled up once or twice every single week as part of my self-care, so I'm not always just like in a sweatshirt and sweatpants with my hair up in a ponytail. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's what I've done for the past 25 years. Just do something a little bit different.
No, I agree. And that is funny because Marissa is the type of person that, so like when something's happening, like a party or something, she'll be like, okay, so who's coming over to do my hair and makeup?
Yeah, I don't know how to do any of
that.
So
one of her ends is also learning how to do makeup.
Right, that's a huge part of it for me. It's like, I don't even know how to do like a basic face of makeup.
Or like curl your hair.
Right, or curl my, like, I have people for that right now. So I'm like,
people as me.
But aka my sister's not like I hire people. I don't got that. Clearly I'm trying to save money. So like, but I normally have people do it for me, so like even if I can do like a basic face of makeup for like an average day, like nothing crazy, I'm not saying I'm gonna do it every day, I will not, but on an average day if I could do it, I just feel like that would make me feel good if I could be a little bit more inclined to do it.
No, I agree, and it does give you like a little bit of boost of self-confidence, right? Like when you, a prime example of this is when I gave birth, Marissa made me take a shower, and I was only like 1 or 2 days postpartum, so I wasn't like rotting, but like I was like definitely like I would feel better if I took a shower. And it is true, just like doing that little bit for you makes you feel like a 180%.
Taking care of yourself, and I believe like when you feel like you look good and you feel confident, like it changes the whole trajectory of your day. Like I am a firm believer, whether people think it's gross or not, like if you feel confident wearing makeup to the gym, wear makeup to the gym. Wear whatever you feel confident in a gym. And like if being in a sweatpants and sweatshirt with your hair up in a bun is what makes you feel the most confident, top off and do that. Because like I think your day reflects how you feel inside and your confidence, and if that's how you feel the best, then that's how you should dress.
No, I completely agree.
Like, and I think for me, like I feel super confident like with nothing on in a sports bra and leggings, but also once a week it is nice to like look in the mirror and being like, oh my god, like
like you said, that'll also like build your staple clothing of like just not having leggings and a sweatshirt.
Right, exactly.
Have like a nice little sweater.
Right, or like I literally bought 2 new pairs of jeans and things like that. Like just little things that like not every single week you're gonna get all dolled up and like you're not going to prom, but like just like feel good. Look good, feel good. I think that's all of my ins and outs for 2024. Do you have any more? So we're gonna wrap up the podcast here. Episode 1 of Sisters to Moms podcast. Guys, we are so freaking excited. Obviously, like we're still gonna play around with like the lighting, with the way things look, with the backdrop, with the placement. Like we're still figuring everything out, obviously. But comment down below anything that you want us to talk about, any questions that you have for us. I think our next 2 videos, I just decided this, I didn't even tell her that. I think our next 2 videos, one is gonna be me interviewing her and one's gonna be her interviewing me. So that way if you are a little bit newer, it is more of like a Q&A style, but from one person to another of like, let's just get down and like really get to know each other a little bit more. We know each other. She's known me since I've literally came out the womb. So like we know each other well. So like let's make sure you guys know us just as well. So I think that'll be the next 2 episodes. It's just getting to know each other. But from there, let us know what you guys want to see.
We have plenty of ideas. But we are really excited to like just get interactive and really like, we just want to make it a mom community. And like not everything's about momming, but a lot of it is when you are a mom, right? Like,
that's your personality.
It's your circle. You want like a tight community of moms. So that's what we're trying to build. We love each other for that too. Of course, like we're mom friends for life, but still we want to communicate with everyone, and I think it's going to be a really fun journey. Yeah, it's a really fun community, and we're excited to take you guys along the ride with us, and we're excited to like just grow and get better and develop together. So let us know what you want to see. We have ideas, but keep us, if you have different ideas for the name of the podcast, let us know. We like Sisters to Moms, but if you guys think of something really clever and your brain, we're like really not creative.
We're not creative, but like maybe we can be good at podcasting. We'll see. So, but let us know. But thank you guys so much for watching episode 1. Let us know what you want to see in the future. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll pop both of our Instagrams and YouTubes here if you have not seen them. And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.